Coming in at number 1, the first thing that shocked me as a Black American living in Nairobi, Kenya was the Kenyan time. Oh my God. So we know in America, we have like prompt schedule. Like, all right, if I say that we're meeting at 3 o'clock, 9 times out of 10, you want to show up 10 to 15 minutes before that or exactly at 3 o'clock. But here in Kenya, Kenyan time is something else. They'll come an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours later, and it's just like the social norm out here. You know what I'm saying? Like even me, I've had to become adjusted to that because, you know, if I say we're going to meet at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then somebody comes 2 to 3 hours later, it's just, you know, it's just a part of how this society runs, you know. Yeah, the Kenyan time was definitely something that I had to figure out because it would definitely have you going crazy. All right, so coming in at number 2, we have the driving. Hey. The driving in Nairobi specifically is the most nerve-wracking, chaotic thing that you'll ever see in your life. I'm talking about if you think that you've seen, you know, traffic and bad driving in America, it does not compete. Kenya is a different beast. Literally, people get ran off the roads here. People get hit by cars and buses, not because they're in the wrong. People just don't care on the roads. And I'm telling you, it's really chaotic out here when it comes to the driving. And they even have a saying out here, and I don't want to butcher it, but I believe it's like you got to drive like you're the only sober one on the road or something like that, because everybody drives ridiculous. But at the end of the day, they've somehow figured out how to work with it. So, hey, I can't knock them. You feel me? Coming in at number 3, everyone is friendly and everyone greets you. So if you go up to somebody and say, hey, how you doing? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say something back. Compared to in America, if you go up to a stranger and you're like, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? You could either get 1 or 2 responses. One could be someone open and friendly and, you know, wanting to speak to you. And the other is complete silence, or somebody could walk away, you know, just very complete polar opposites. That's the best way I could put it. But yeah, a lot of people will greet you here. Even if you don't say anything to them first, they might come up to you and say, hello, where are you from? How are you doing? You know, just basically being accommodating. But we cannot say the same about America. So that's definitely another culture shock that I experienced while being here in Kenya. Moving on to number 4, we have security. Yes, security is literally everywhere you go, from the grocery stores to the malls to just basic places. You can even be going to, you know, the dentist or an office space. Just basically every single place you go, there is armed security there. And honestly, I had to get used to that. Seeing guards with, you know, big machine guns and all that stuff. And, you know, coming from America, when you see something like that, you are assuming somebody's going to shoot the place up, right? But yeah, man, the security is top notch here. I feel 10 times safer in Kenya than I ever felt in America. And I always say this, but it is the truth. And yeah, man, they're definitely up to date. And then on top of that, not even just the security guards, when it comes to the surrounding areas, like a lot of places have, you know, barbed wire fences or, you know, glass shards on top of fences, stuff like that, in order to stop thieves and people that may want to do harm. So yeah, the security here was definitely another culture shock that I experienced. Coming in at number 5, we have the way that you spend money here. Right now, of course, in America, we have, you know, Cash Apps, PayPals, all of those things, right? And hey, if y'all want to support the channel, you know, quick little plug, you could definitely send me a donation at #SHAM goes global. I would greatly appreciate that. But yes, moving on. All right, so this society here runs off of something called M-Pesa, basically. Now, in America, we have mainly like hand-to-hand cash, you know, your dollar, $5, $10, $20, whatever. They also have, you know, cash here where you can exchange. But a lot of times people use M-Pesa, which is mobile banking. Like when I first came, I was using cash and I'm over here, you know, trying to get change back and people don't have change. And they was like, oh, can we M-Pesa you? I'm like, what is M-Pesa? All right, now coming in at number 6, we have the hustle culture. Man, when I tell you, Kenyans are some hustlers, brother. Like everywhere you go, somebody's selling something, whether that be, you know, people selling donuts, people selling chapatis on the street, people selling fruits, vegetables. anything is for sale out here, you get me? But I will say I respect the hustle, and I say that that's a huge culture shock because in America you don't see that. You don't really see people on the street corner selling corn or selling, you know, ugalis, or have a whole little food stand, you know, things of that nature. So when I first came, it really was shocking to me to see how some people make their money. But I do respect the hustle at the end of the day, man. You got to get it by any means, and hey, it is what it is. All right, now coming in at number 7, we have the food portions and the quality of the food. Literally, I just had a chicken drumstick the size of my thumb. Literally, the size of my thumb. A drumstick. And in America, drumsticks are massive. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get accustomed to that. Like, yo, did they just rip me off? But in reality, it's we put so much chemicals and steroids and stuff in our food in America, it isn't organic. You know, a lot of times in countries like Kenya and other African countries, a lot of their stuff is organic. You get me? And when it comes to the food portion sizes, oh my God. Like, they are definitely smaller than in America, and I had to get used to that. For instance, a large in Kenya would be like a small or a medium in America, just to kind of, you know, compare the two. It's definitely something that you will have to get used to if you plan on coming to a place like Kenya. And that's definitely something that shocked me. All right, so moving on to number 8, we have a strong sense of community. Now, I love the fact that Kenyans stick together. You can see it on social media as well. A lot of times if you say something crazy about the country of Kenya, they're going to come for you. Like, there's no questions about it. You going to be enemy number 1, and they going to put that belt to your ass. They is not going to play. And you also see that too in real life. You know, they definitely stick with each other. They have this thing called street justice. If somebody's doing wrong, you know, maybe a theft or something like that, a lot of times they like to handle it as a community. And also their communities, a lot of people know each other, whether that be somebody down the street, you know, their whole family, their aunties, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, you know, basically the entire family in these communities. And it's definitely a beautiful thing to see. And I say it's a culture shock because in America, I don't even know my next door neighbor's name. A lot of people don't even know who's living right next to them. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely a culture shock. And that's definitely something that I appreciate about being here in Kenya, just the community aspect of it all. So the 9th culture shock I've had while visiting and living in Nairobi, Kenya, is the way that the Kenyans party compared to how Americans party. Ooh-wee. I really need y'all to understand. Kenyans will drink you under the table. Don't think you can drink with a Kenyan, because before you know it, you will be blacked out drunk. I am telling you, they party hard out here. And when I say I was shocked by the way that they party, I'm telling you, imagine this, right? You're coming from America. America, you know, it's sometimes it's a turn up, sometimes it's dead. 9 times out of 10, you're going to expect everybody to really just be on their phones or filming what's going on. But in Kenya, everybody's dancing, everybody's having fun. You know, people are on their phones, you know what I'm saying, showing what's going on, but at the same time, they're still dancing, talking to people, interacting. You know, it's an overall vibe in Kenya. All right, so the 10th and final thing is the city vibes are unmatched. It's nothing like any city in America. And what I mean by that is it's alive here. You really feel it in the air. Like, from the kids to the teenagers to the adults to the grandmas, grandpas, everybody has a real upbeat, positive energy. In America, when you go out and about, you don't really see anybody on the streets. Maybe you might see 100, 200 people just saying in one specific area on the streets, right? We'll just do a comparison. You see that amount in America. Here, you'll see 5,000 people on the street. That shocked the hell out of me, because I'm like, yo, why is it 3 o'clock at night and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people just still out here vibing and turning up on a Wednesday? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's definitely something that shocked me. And with all those culture shocks, I fell in love with Kenya as a whole, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I appreciate you guys for watching all the way to the end. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you leave a comment below. I got way more dope vlogs. I'm back here in Kenya, baby, and it's feeling amazing. So y'all definitely stay tuned for the content that I got coming. So yeah, it's your man Sham, and I'll see y'all on the next one.